General Hospital spoilers. Jason discovers the identity of Anna's kidnapper, the shocking truth that changes everything in Port Charles. The morning fog rolled over Port Charles like a silent ghost. It was a day that began like any other, but by sundown, everything would change. Friendships shattered, loyalties tested, and one truth that would rock Jason Morgan's world to the core. For weeks, Anna Devane's disappearance had haunted the city. Whispers filled Kelly's diner, the Metro Court, and even the corridors of General Hospital. Everyone had a theory, but no one had the truth. Until Jason found it. Jason had never trusted coincidences. The ex-enforcer turned reluctant hero had seen too much in his life to believe in luck. Since Anna's kidnapping, he'd been moving like a ghost himself, quietly following leads, questioning people the PCPD had missed, and pulling strings that only Sonny Corinthos knew existed. Carly Corinthos found him in the Metro Court bar, his coffee untouched, a man consumed. "Jason, you've been running yourself into the ground," Carly said softly. "You can't save everyone." He didn't look up. "This isn't just anyone. Anna saved me once. I owe her my life." Carly sighed. "You don't owe her your sanity. You think Sonny's not losing it too? You've been chasing shadows for weeks. Maybe you need to look at who benefits from Anna being gone." Jason finally raised his eyes. "Exactly. And that's what I'm doing." Sonny Corinthos had his own worries. His empire was shaky, alliances were shifting, and now Jason, his brother in everything but blood, was spiraling down a dangerous path. At the Corinthos compound, Sonny poured himself a drink. "You're playing with fire, Jason. Whoever took Anna, they are powerful. Too careful." Jason stared out the window. "There's always a trail. Even ghosts leave footprints." Sonny shook his head. "You're starting to sound like her." Jason smirked. "Maybe that's the point." Then came the knock on the door, Dex Heller. Nervous, sweaty, holding a manila envelope. "You're gonna want to see this," Dex said, placing it on the table. Inside were grainy photos, surveillance stills from the docks, a shadowy figure forcing Anna into a black SUV. Jason's jaw tightened. Sonny leaned in. "You recognize him?" Jason's eyes narrowed. "I think I do." The next day, Jason drove to Pier 47, the last known location of Anna's car. The area had been cleared weeks ago, but Jason knew evidence could hide in plain sight. He found a single shell casing near the dumpster, .45 caliber. Not from a random mugging. Professional. He called Damian Spinelli. "Spinelli, I need a favor." "Ah. My stone-cold superhero returns. Pray tell, what data treasure do we seek?" Jason half-smiled. "Run the docks traffic cameras from October 14th to the 18th, focus on black SUVs with missing plates." Spinelli's fingers flew across the keys. Eureka! One such vehicle pinged twice, once at Pier 47, again outside an abandoned warehouse on the south end. Jason's heart pounded. "Send me the address." It was just after midnight when Jason arrived at the warehouse. He moved like a shadow, gun drawn, senses razor-sharp. Inside, the smell of oil and dust hit him. The sound of dripping water echoed through the dark. Then, a sound. Movement. Jason froze. A silhouette moved behind a stack of crates. He stepped forward silently and aimed his gun. "Turn around." The figure turned, and Jason's world tilted. "Valentin," Jason whispered. Valentin Cassadine raised his hands, calm as ever. "Before you pull that trigger, maybe you should hear what I have to say." Jason's finger hovered over the trigger. "You kidnapped Anna." Valentin's eyes glimmered with pain. "You think I could hurt her?" "No, Jason. I'm trying to save her." Jason's confusion deepened. "Save her from what?" Valentin stepped closer, his voice low. "From herself, and from the person who really took her. Someone you know." Jason didn't trust Cassadines. He'd fought too many of them. But something in Valentin's tone, the rawness, felt real. "Who?" Jason demanded. Valentin hesitated. "She's been working behind the scenes for months, manipulating everyone. I thought I could stop her, but she's always one step ahead." "Who?" Jason shouted. Valentin finally met his eyes. "Ronnie Duval." Jason froze. "Ronnie's dead." Valentin shook his head. "No. She's alive. And she's the one who took Anna." Jason felt like the ground shifted beneath him. "Ronnie Duval. the woman who had nearly destroyed Port Charles years ago, presumed dead after a fiery explosion. He remembered chasing her through the rain, seeing the car go up in flames. No one found her body. Valentin saw the disbelief in Jason's eyes. She's been rebuilding. A network. Quiet, patient. And Anna found out. That's why she was taken. Jason clenched his fists. Where is she? Jason and Valentin worked in tense silence as they tracked Ronnie's operations. Spinelli uncovered bank transfers tied to shell corporations, offshore accounts, and shipments moving through the docks. Carly called again, worried. Jason, what's going on? You disappeared. I can't talk, Jason said. Just stay away from the docks. Something big's coming. Jason, don't do this alone, she pleaded. But he was already gone. Meanwhile, Valentin made a confession that twisted Jason's stomach. Anna and we weren't just partners. She knew things about my past, about Helena Cassadine, about me. Ronnie wanted that information. She's using Anna as leverage. Jason's patience snapped. You should have come to me sooner. Valentin's eyes burned. Would you have believed me? Jason didn't answer. Instead, he loaded his gun. They found the compound on the outskirts of town, an old Cold War bunker converted into a private prison. Jason scoped it out. 4 guards, 2 entrances, and a locked steel door. At 2 a.m., the assault began. Jason moved with deadly precision, silent takedowns. Every bullet counted. Valentin followed, covering his back. Inside, alarms blared. Anna! Jason shouted. Her muffled voice answered. Jason. He kicked open the final door. And there she was, bruised but alive, chained to a metal chair. Jason, it's a trap, she gasped. A figure stepped from the shadows, a woman in black, her eyes cold and familiar. Hello, Jason, Ronnie Duval purred. Miss me. Jason raised his gun, fury burning in his veins. You're supposed to be dead. Ronnie laughed. I was. Until Anna betrayed me. She exposed my operation, left me to burn. But I survived. And now, it's my turn. Anna struggled against her restraints. Jason, don't listen to her. She's twisted the truth. Ronnie smirked. Am I? Tell him, Anna. Tell him what you did. Jason turned to Anna, confused. What is she talking about? Anna's face crumpled with guilt. Jason, years ago, I led an operation against Ronnie. I thought she was working for the WSB. But it turned out she was working for me, under deep cover. My order got her killed, or so I thought. Ronnie stepped closer. You destroyed my life, Anna. You made me into this. Jason's gun didn't waver. This ends tonight. But Ronnie pressed a button, and explosions rocked the bunker. Valentin shouted, Move. They dove for cover as fire erupted around them. Smoke filled the air. Jason dragged Anna out, coughing, while Valentin covered them. Ronnie fled through a hidden exit, disappearing into the forest. By dawn, the bunker was a smoldering ruin. Anna sat wrapped in a blanket, silent. Jason stood nearby, haunted. She's still out there, he said quietly. Anna nodded. And she'll come for me again. For both of us. Jason's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. You can't protect her forever. Ah. He crushed the phone in his hand. Days later, Port Charles tried to move on. But Jason couldn't shake the darkness that lingered. Anna was recovering under guard. Valentin had vanished again. And Sonny wanted answers. Jason, Sonny said, you brought Anna back. That's what matters. Jason looked out over the harbor. She's not safe. Not while Ronnie's alive. Sonny nodded slowly. Then we'll find her. But Jason wasn't listening. His mind was already moving, tracing patterns, contacts, safe houses. He'd fought mob wars, spies, and betrayals before. But this was different. Ronnie wasn't just another enemy. She was the ghost of every mistake Port Charles ever buried. And Jason knew one thing. Ghosts always return. 2 weeks later, Jason stood outside Anna's house. She had just come home from the hospital. Jason, she said softly, opening the door. You didn't have to come. I did, he said. You saved me once. I'm not letting Ronnie finish what she started. Anna smiled faintly. You remind me of Robert sometimes. Stubborn, reckless. Jason half smiled. I'll take that as a compliment. But in her eyes, there was fear, not for herself, but for him. Jason, she's not done. Ronnie's after something bigger, something buried deep in the WSB archives. She wants the Project Oz files. Jason frowned. What's in them? Names, Anna whispered. People who were part of experiments, including you. Jason froze. What? Anna nodded. Your memory loss years ago. It wasn't an accident. The WSB tested neurological mapping technology on soldiers. Ronnie was part of that program. Jason's world shattered again. You mean? Anna took a breath. You were her prototype. The revelation tore through Jason like fire. Everything he thought he knew, his past, his loyalties, blurred into lies and half-truths. He turned away from Anna. So I was just an experiment. Anna's voice broke. I didn't know, Jason. I swear. But Ronnie, she does. That's why she's obsessed with you. Jason clenched his fists. Then I'll end this. For good. Anna reached for him, desperate. Don't let her turn you into what she became. But Jason was already gone. The rain fell hard over Port Charles Cemetery. Jason stood over an unmarked grave, the place where Ronnie DeVal was supposed to have died. He placed a single white lily on the ground. You should have stayed dead, he muttered. From the distance, a woman watched, black coat, crimson lips, eyes glinting through the mist. Ronnie's voice echoed softly. You can't kill what you created, Jason. He turned, gun raised, but she was gone. Only the whisper of rain remained. Jason lowered his weapon, jaw tight. I'll find you, he vowed. And when I do, it ends. The camera panned out over the cemetery, the skyline of Port Charles glowing behind him. Another chapter was closing, but the war had just begun.